it was more like my friends controlling the relationship. So to him, it was more like he still likes me. He wanted the relationship to work out so bad. So mind you, I was out of my comfort zone. This was just me trying to get those things so that I have something to show to my friends. So that one day, he just asked me, was like,
hello guys, this is your host Victoria Sai. Welcome to the Safrimental show. Here with me, I've got a friend. Do you mind introducing yourself?
No, I don't. Hi everyone, my name is PRISCILLA CHAMA and I'm here on the Safrimental show to talk about teenage relationships.
So Priscilla, can you define for us a healthy relationship?
So personally, I describe a healthy relationship as one that is built on love, respect, trust and transparency.
How do you think social media has actually affected the way we think about relationships?
So social media has really affected the way teenagers think about relationships because people envy what they see online. They forget that people choose to show us what we see. So when we envy something, we end up being under pressure and we start to compare our relationships to what we see. We let social media set standards for our relationships instead of setting our own personal standards in our relationship. So I think that is one way that social media has affected teenage relationships nowadays.
So can you share with us a relationship story of you, an educative one, that opened your eyes on how to picture teenage relationships?
Okay, so this just takes me back to 2018. So in 2018, I was in grade 8. I was at a new school, a new environment, making new friends and all that. So I was talking to this guy. He liked me and I liked him too. And when I got in class, I was like, I need to make friends since I was alone. I knew no one there. So I make friends, and mind you, this was my first time having friends who are actually way older than me. 2 years older, 3 years older than me. So I made like three friends. So we start to talk and everything. And as every girl would, a group of girls, they start to talk about boys, relationships and everything. And one of them observed that every time they brought up a topic about relationships, I had nothing to say. I didn't relate. I didn't contribute anything. I was just there seated, listening to what their stories are. So one of them was like, Priscilla, why don't you talk about your relationship? Because we are always the ones talking about our relationships and everything. So I'm like, I really don't have much to say about my relationship because it's new. We are just 1 or 2 weeks in this relationship with this guy. So I really have nothing much to share. Then they go like, okay, but that's understood, but what does he get you? Or maybe what has he done so far to show that he likes you and is willing to take this relationship to the next level? I'm like, I really don't want to put that pressure on him because he's still in school and I'm still in school. He's not yet stable. We are all trying to figure out life. Then they go like, no, this is not right, because when someone actually likes you, they will do stuff for you. They'll do this and that for you. So you really have to think it through before it goes far. You might get into the wrong relationship with this person and you end up regretting it. And then in my mind, they start to give me that mindset that, okay, for a relationship to work out, he needs to give me this. He needs to get all those stuff to prove that he loves me. But it's new, so I don't want to sabotage it and everything. So as time is going, they keep feeding those things in my mind, and the influence gets in, and I'm like, okay, this one day we meet up, and then I'm like, can you get me this? And then like, I can't get it for you right now, but I will when I find the money. And then I'm like, okay, cool. He fulfills his promise. He gets me that thing, and then it goes on and on. I keep asking things, and mind you, I was out of my comfort zone. This was just me trying to get those things so that I have something to show to my friends so that they don't have to say, no, he doesn't like you and all that. So yeah, he starts to get me things. I start to put him under pressure, and I could tell that he's being put under pressure because he's just a schoolboy and I'm a schoolgirl. So every time they start talking about relationships, I'm like, okay, he also bought me this day he took me this. I even lie sometimes about what he did not do, just to impress them. So they're like, okay, that's nice. So at one point it got worse, that I started to get myself stuff to go and show my friends, so that I convince them that, okay, he's actually getting me this, he's really doing it, he actually likes me, and he would do anything to keep the relationship going. In the actual sense, I knew it myself. I'll go home and put my parents under pressure, like, we have to do this at school, so they need money. So if I get that money, I go out there and get myself stuff to go and show my friends, so that, and sometimes I'll even keep extra money so that I get them something. I'm like, this money I'm getting you this stuff, he gave it to me. So he's just so serious about this relationship, and I'm pretty sure it will work out and everything. But when I went back home, there was war in my mind. I knew I was lying. I knew I was just doing things to impress my friends. I wasn't actually saving my relationship. I wasn't actually focusing on my relationship with the guy. It was more like my friends controlling the relationship, setting standards for my relationship. They were not allowing me to naturally experience the relationship and how everything goes. And then one day, he just asked me, was like, I feel like the genuineness in the way you liked me at first is not there anymore. Because our conversation right nowadays are only based off on, can you get me this? When are you gonna, you said you're gonna get me this, when are you going to bring it, and all that. We are not really bonding the way we used to bond when we first started talking. And then I'm like, no, I still like you and everything. I'm just there trying to convince him that there is nothing wrong, there's nothing happening. But he's a guy quite older than me, like a year or two. So he knows better, he's experienced with this, so he knows something is wrong somewhere. So I continue with that mindset, so that each time the girls start to talk about what they get, I have something to say. But as much as it kept on happening, I just saw that I started to lose myself. I was doing things out of my comfort zone. I was doing things to please my friend, not to save my relationship and be there just because I like the person and they like me back. So the genuineness was not there anymore. So I was like, I just texted him this one day. I was like, can you come? And he's like, okay, sure. And I'm like, I just started to apologize. I'm like, I'm sorry if you felt this relationship was all about what I want. We never actually got that time to connect and speak on different things that do not include materialistic things and getting me stuff. So he's like, I tried to have this conversation with you, but you kept saying it's fine, it's okay, you still like me and everything. So why are you bringing this up? And then I'm like, I'll just be honest with you, I'm not really comfortable with what I ask from you, and this is not the type of person I am. I'm just being influenced, and I feel like I can't continue with this anymore because it's ruining my mind. When I'm by myself, I start to feel like I'm the worst person. I'm just there, just tricking someone into getting me things when I don't like them. So it was just a lot of pressure for me. So I was like, we just need to break up for now. He says we can't break up. To him, it was more like he still likes me. He wanted the relationship to work out so bad. So I was like, honestly, don't expect much from me because, like I told you, I'm really going through things and this is not who I am. So I really need time to myself. Maybe we can continue some other time, but as for now, I just really want us to break up. He refuses. Then we continue. My friend keep pressuring me to doing those things. And then as time was going, he was losing interest now because it got to a point where it was just too much. If we are talking and he doesn't reply, I'm like, okay, you can go ahead and talk to the girls you're talking to and everything. They're accusing him of things that I'm not even sure of because my friends are telling me, no, if he doesn't respond, then he doesn't like you, stuff like that. They're just feeding in my mind, thinking that those are the right things. So it goes on and on and on. So when that got to a point, I then found out that he actually was seeing another girl while that was happening. So that also added to my mental illness. I just started to think like I'm the worst person. I got self-conscious. I was just like, okay, this is now the right time if I tell him I want to break up, he will say yes, because I now found out that he's seeing someone else. So I have a reason to say we can break up. So I tell him, and he's there blaming me. He's like, I really liked you, but your actions caused this. It's your actions that caused this. You were putting me under pressure. I felt like you are one of those girls that will just get into a relationship to get stuff from someone. So from that, I just learned a lot from it, and it took time, but at least it was worth it. I just realized that I was meant to learn something from it. So in line with my story, because I believe someone in Africa out there is going through the same thing that I went through, I would say just avoid peer pressure. Avoid peer pressure. That is your relationship. It's not someone else's relationship. Don't act in a way based off of what your friends say and anything. Just let the process take place on its own and have your own experience. And yeah, everything will just flow the way it should. If it works out, it works out. If it doesn't work out, you learn something from it.
So, okay, Priscilla, but how do you handle disagreements or conflicts in line with the story that you actually told us?
So, like the first question, when you asked me to define a healthy relationship, I mentioned transparency. So this is where transparency comes in. So when we talk about transparency, we mean being open to communication, taking accountability, and everything. So whenever we had these disagreements and conflicts, I'll just be transparent with the person. I'll take accountability for my actions, and I'll be open to just say everything and just be honest with the person, so that they know we see where we can find a solution or how we can work it out.
Okay, good. But what's the one thing you wish to tell your younger self about relationships or friendships?
So younger Priscilla, you don't need a group of friends, you need the right ones. Don't rush into a relationship. Everything will happen at its right time, and it wasn't your fault. You were meant to learn something from what happened.
So what's the word of encouragement you would give people in Africa who are passing through the same situation as you've passed through?
So the word of encouragement I could give to someone out there in Africa going through the same thing that I passed through is choose the right friends. Don't take advice anyhow. Teenage relationships can last if you just take your time and see where you can work it out. And it's not your fault. There's nothing wrong with you. You're just okay the way you are. And yeah, put God in your relationship. It will definitely work out. Thank you, Victoria Sai, for hosting me in Safrimental Growth. This has been a great chat, and I hope it will get someone out there. Remember, guys, you can also be part of the show. Just like, share, follow Safrimental Growth on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook.
Hello guys, thank you for watching. This has been your host, Victoria Sai. Thank you very much. Remember to follow, like, and share our video to all.